What's up guys, this is HylianMom, and today in Grounded I'm going to show you how to complete the Black Anthill Lab and get the Black Anthill Super Chip. So there are two pathways to get into the Black Anthill, one at the sandbox, which is a harder path, and one at the trash heap, which is easier. I have links to guides to both of those pathways in the description if you need that to get here. Things you're going to have to complete this lab is at least 2 brat bursts, and I highly suggest you have a tier 2 hammer that is upgraded to level 5 because busting is the boss's weakness in this lab. So whether you took the path from the trash heap or the sandbox, you ended up following this wiring here. That basically goes into this room, and both the wirings go to this outpost with the hole in the bottom. So what we're going to do is go up here to where the A door is, and opposite the A door is a path that we'll see a cracked rock. And we're going to take our Brat Burst, and we're going to blow the rock. That's going to get us access into here. Ooh, watch for falling rocks. So here, if we go to the left, we have a biometric scanner. Just be wary because as soon as this door opens, a tasty will be there to deal with. They are also weak to busting though. So I'm just going to take him out. And now we have access to this room here. Now, here in this room, we have a tape here that you can collect and some raw science. And we have to mash the keys. Now, you don't actually want to fall out of the hole yet because we're going to go down the hallway the opposite direction. So let's mash the keys, and now we have level A access to the doors. So we go back out, and we're going to continue straight through this hallway the other way. Now, down here at the bottom, we are going to have 3 more tasties to deal with. We're going to have this room here, which has some granola bars here that you can gather, and a file folder. And here we have our tasties. So we'll just deal with them. Busting is very effective against tasties. Grab that raw science. Here you have locked B door. So that's our first objective, is we're doing this to get to the B keys where we can unlock them. So here in our next area, we've got some bandages that we can take off of the desk here. We've got your self-crafting station, etc. if you need them. And we're going to keep going down the hall, all the way up here to where we've got a button to hit. There's also a tape to collect here as well. We're going to hit this button, open this door, and access the raw science up here. This was on a ledge that we couldn't access before from the outside. And we get a loot box, so you can collect some of this stuff here. Now we're going to go back down, and we basically have unlocked that A door that we saw in the beginning. So opposite the cracked rock that we blew up is an A door. We're going to go into here, and it's just going to take us to this area. If you cross around, of course, first, and get this raw science over here. And then you honestly just want to fall down amidst the roots, down to the bottom. Here, there will be a hatch that you can see is open. I'm just going to get over to that hatch and fall right through. So here you have an area where you can do a bed spawn. They have given this to you because the boss is a little bit difficult. And it's a nice thing to be able to not have to run all the way back. You got a tape you can collect here. In this same room, we've got some resources at the back. It's got a water cooler here, so make sure you grab yourself a drink. And a loot box over there. So from this spawn room, we're going to go through the one door. Continue down. And we'll have more archers to deal with. Tasties. I keep calling the wrong one. 3 more tasties to deal with. I've got pretty good armor, so I'm honestly just a little bit of a reckless fighter half the time. Play it safe, make sure you're careful, right? I'm just gonna go and pop myself up with a bandage here. So now we're in this room where we have our B to mash keys. Another file to collect in here. Always keep your eye out, right, for files, loot boxes, nice things like that. Raw science. So let's go ahead and mash to get level B access granted. Once you have level B access, boom, your red door is now green. So we're going to go through here. And this is where you're going to have some more soldier ants to deal with. I personally enjoy using my bow on these guys. Now that they've added that block ability, very useful. And I like exploding them in front of my face. Alright, so you deal with the black soldier ants if you get any of those. We're going to follow the wiring now, basically. So you come out of the B door, follow the wiring. It's going to take you all the way. So now we're back in that central area we started in. And we have access to the B door down here, which was locked before. So we're going to go through this B door. It's going to take us down this access point, through here, and just keep going straight. It's a one path only. And that's going to take us to this room. Now, in this room, there are quite a few black soldier ants. I believe there's usually 4. So, I like to take them out. So just give me a minute and I'll go deal with all of these guys. And there we go. That should be all of the black ants in this, soldier black ants that I've got to deal with in this room. So what we've got here is some blast doors. And if you've been keeping up with the files, you'll know what's happening. I don't want to spoil anything. But up here to the right, you do have a golden milk molar. So if you want to go grab that, we actually need to head to the left side of this room and go up this ramp area, this upper area here. And up at the top here, we are going to have a button and some raw science. When we hit this button, we open the blast door, which reveals this area here. This is the boss chamber of this lab, where you will fight the assistant manager. And what you need to do is use a brat burst here to basically blow up this cracked glass. That's why you have to have 2 to progress this lab. There you are. So now you've activated the alarm. You can see everything's starting to flash. When you come into this area, we've got a pathway up above we can't access. A locked door here that says we need an assistant manager keycard. And over here, we've got an intruder alert. Basically, as soon as we hit this, we are going to deploy the assistant manager from this section at the top. So the assistant manager boss fight is going to be one of the more challenging lab fights up to this point. They are weak to salty and sour effect, but the only thing you can craft as of this point in the game is salty arrows. So if you are an archer, that is an option for you. They are resistant, though, to slashing, chopping, explosive, generic, and stabbing. So honestly, using any of these weapons is not the best idea. The robots in this game, they are susceptible to busting. They are weak to busting, so you want to have a hammer. Myself, I actually have the tier 2 hammer and the tier 3 hammer. If you do take the time to go to the tier 3 yard area and get a black ox hammer, that is a really good weapon in this fight. So if you're having trouble with the tier 2, just see if you can take the time to get maybe the tier 3 hammer upgrade, and you will have a much easier time causing damage. Obviously, try to have it upgraded to a level 5 at this point. So the assistant manager has 3 phases. Each phase has some minions that join them, and the second and third phase add some more special attacks, basically. So your first phase, there's going to be 2 tasties along with your assistant manager. She only has 2 attacks, though, a charged shot and a general shot that she will shoot at you. What you can use to help you massively with that is a shield. So a shield with a hammer is a great combination for this fight. When she enters phase 2, which is at 75% health, she adds the laser attacks. So these things you can see in the very center behind me will start shooting at lasers, 2 on the top, 1 on the bottom. And you'll have to constantly be alternating between jumping over the bottom one and ducking below the top 2. So that is the second phase, as well as 2 more tasties and another archer. So duck and jump, watching out for the minions and her at that point. You get her down to 50% and she will add her third stage. This is where she adds the shock attack. So these 4 pillars you can see on the sides of the room at the front and back, they are shock towers. The only safe area really to be from them is against the back window or the back wall, where you have a little safe zone. But what she can do is activate both the shock lasers both the lasers and the shock at the same time, and it can make it very complicated. You're also going to get some more minions. You're going to get another Archer and 2 more Tasties join her 3rd phase. And here's the catch. She also gets resistance to damage. So in her 2nd and 3rd phase, she gets more resistance, which is why I always suggest that you have a really strong hammer setup, that you take the time to get yourself ready for this fight, because it is a bit of a challenge in the sense of the focus that you need. So I'm going to go ahead and show you basically the process of this fight and try to explain what I can as well as I can while we do it. I'm going to try to be patient and give you guys some tips, and we'll see how it goes. So as soon as we hit this, we're going to deploy Management Squad and start the battle. Karen will drop down from right there, and she will get her 2 companions as well. You can get some free hits on her right away if you want. I am going to actually go and get the companions first, so I can show you the phases of the battle. So let's begin. There's Karen. There's her companion. We're going to go over here. Now with the tier 2 level 5 hammer, you can kill a Tasty in the 3 combo hits. If you have a tier 3 Black Ox hammer, you can kill them in 2. So if you take the time and get that Black Ox hammer, if you're really struggling with this fight, you can do a ton more damage. And it really is worth it. So here's Karen with a general shot and a charge shot. Those things cause quite a bit of damage, so that's really mostly what you want to avoid, are those. So here's your tier 2 hammer damage on her with a combo. And I'll switch here to a tier 3 hammer. And you can see that does a lot more damage to get a tier 3. So if you're struggling, try to take the time to get a tier 3 hammer and you should be alright. We're going to get rid of Archer because now she's starting the lasers. So as you can see, 2 on the top go the opposite direction as the 1 on the bottom. I usually try to just kind of strafe around, and so that way I only have to worry about ducking. The little companions will follow you. Make sure you hop over them. Oop. Get your shield out, right? Keep yourself ready. Take advantage of the moments you can, because once those lasers are going, it is much more difficult. So now we're going to get her to half health. We can see more minions coming. She's activating shock factors. Oh, no, actually she was doing her duck, doing the lasers again. But I'm going to get back here to the back window that we came in, because if she decides to activate her... Oh, we need some health here. Get rid of this Archer. Okay, so we've killed her 2 companions. Now we just have to deal with her as well as our lasers here. So I'm just going to stay here in the middle, because if she activates her shock powers on the side, this is my safe spot. Here it is. There's the shock. So you're going to see these going. And basically they cause quite a bit of damage because it's repetitive, small damage to you, which can add up very quickly. Now she's going to activate her lasers at the same time. I'm going to keep an eye out. I want to stay right in the center line here. Keep an eye out for her charge shots. And that bottom that I have to jump over, right? So it's kind of it gets a bit complicated here in the sense of focus, because you really want to watch out for these charge shots. And if she gets those shock factor and the laser going at the same time, it can be really damaging. So we're going to see if we can take her out here. Oh, jump over that one. We'll try to block that, and then I'm running, because she's getting shock factors again. Keep an eye on my health. It can be really challenging to do the multi-focusing here. So forward a little bit, keep an eye out. She's going to do charge shots. As long as I'm here, I'm safe from the center, safe from the shock towers on the side. Just gotta watch out for that, jumping over that bottom one, and when she shoots those at me. So I just stay crouched as much as I can. Oh, she's doing her shock towers again, so I'm gonna get right over here. There is a little bit safe here at the back wall. It's just I find a little harder to deal with the lasers, but we're gonna try to be patient. Jump. and stay still. We're just going to let her get her... This is why it's good to get rid of the companions, because they can kind of get you out of your safe spot here. And we want to stay in our safe spot so we can get some damage in. Keep an eye out. Oh, lasers again, so I'm just going to shift a little bit and try to keep up so I can keep some damage going. Duck. Keep an eye on my health. Alright, we're at the end strip here, so I don't want to die and be ridiculous, but I want to try to, you know, take her out. We're going to get ourselves safe again because we can see here we've got shock towers going off again. She's going to do lasers. We're going to heal just because that's a good idea. And we're waiting for those shock towers to go away because we can't really go up and block the charged shot. Make sure we get rid of that. Might as well heal again. Make sure we're full up. Alright, we can do some more damage here, and boom, we take her out with a tier 2 level 5 hammer. And there we go, guys. That's phase 1, 2, and 3 of the assistant manager boss fight. You get the mutation shocking dismissal. Hopefully this has some tips that can help you with the battle if you're struggling with it, because it is quite a challenge. It's quite an upgrade, I find, from the other battles. So now you can collect the assistant manager remains, and you now have the assistant manager key card. So we take this, we can access this door now, and we're going to proceed through this area. Pretty straightforward, right? Just follow the halls. It takes you up here into this room. And then you're out here. So what you've got here is you've got a door over there, but there's also a little door there with some stuff we want to collect. So I'm going to show you that first. Cross over straight through. Make sure you scour the room, right? Because you want to make sure you get anything that is good gear in here. Oh, so here is basically the mixer area. So when you protect and defend the 8 mixers that are throughout the yard, here's your little sketch, you basically gain access to this locked area. So that's something that is a side project. You don't have to do it to complete the game, but it is something a lot of people like to challenge themselves with. So now we go straight through and we're going to go get the Burgle chip, assistant manager keycard, and there it is, right ahead, glowing with all the glory. We grab this Black Anthill Super Chip, and now we've got it. So hopefully for anybody who is having trouble navigating the Black Anthill Lab, here's also, by the way, another tape. We've got, you know, we always check out for tapes and file folders, loot boxes. But anyone who is having trouble finding the lab or completing it or defeating the assistant manager, hopefully this can help you out a little bit. As always, guys, be kind, stay legendary. May the Triforce always be with you. And here you have your exit. So if you follow this path, basically, all the way up, it will lead you out into the sandbox, where you will have completed the entire Black Anthill Lab objective. And there we go. Correction, this is not the one that comes out in the sandbox. That's a separate thing. This is the one that comes out right here on the map. There you go. So that's your easy entrance and exit now to the Black Anthill Lab. HylianMom out.